We are now in the last section 7, recommendations for the success of the supplier management practice. There will be only one question from this topic in the exam, and that will be an application question at Bloom's level 3, that is. The recommendations for the supplier management success are connected with the ITIL guiding principles. So let's see how that happens. Before that, just a quick run on the 7 ITIL guiding principles. And those are: focus on value, start where you are, progress iteratively with feedback, collaborate and promote visibility, think and work holistically, keep it simple and practical, optimize and automate. Do have a good understanding of these 7 principles. You may want to refer to the ITIL Foundation manual again, because in the exam, there's a likelihood that you may have a situational question and you would have to identify the principles that are being applied in that situation. The recommendations are listed in this table. The first one is to be realistic when creating the sourcing strategy. What that means is the sourcing strategy should be developed based on the realistic evaluation of the IT organization's capabilities and honest evaluation of what can be more efficiently or effectively delivered by the third-party resources. So it is not about whether the IT organization is able to perform the identified functions, but whether performing them is the best use of time and value to the business. So what this means is, it's possible that an organization might have capability in a certain area, and therefore it may be better not to outsource that. On the other hand, if they are transforming to a new working model, even if they have some capabilities, they may decide to outsource those activities related to that skill or capability and focus on better things for the future. And here the guiding principles are focusing on value and start where you are. Now, it may not be so easy to list the guiding principles for each of these recommendations, but here, because it's about the sourcing strategy alignment, therefore it's focus on value. And then look at what is currently available and what needs to be outsourced. Therefore, we have the start where you are guiding principle there. However, in the exam, you may be given a general situation and you would have to identify the guiding principle. Therefore, becoming familiar with what each principle means or describes will be quite important for the exam. This next one is to develop partnerships based on trust. What this means is new supplier relationships should be clearly defined with documented roles, boundaries, and responsibilities. For the strategic relationships, the partnership ones, that is, seek the partners that demonstrate a willingness to focus on business value versus managing just based on the SLA compliance. So the business value becomes more important than just achieving the SLA during the partnerships or in the partnerships. Create a collaborative environment and foster improvement and shared success instead of just focusing on the compliance and the penalties. So here we have the principles as follows: they collaborate and promote visibility, because in order to move to the partnership based on trust, think and work holistically, progress iteratively with feedback. So if initially the relationship is basic, move to cooperative and then move to partnership. And keep all the 4 dimensions into perspective in the partnership model. Therefore, think and work holistically. Now, a little bit more on the different relationship types. There is actually more information in the Drive Stakeholder Value Certification, Training and Certification. But essentially, in a basic relationship, the provider acts as an ad hoc order taker, meaning the supplier, they just take the orders, whereas in the cooperative relationship, the provider or supplier becomes more trusted advisor, and in the partnership, the provider becomes a strategic partner. What that means is, in the basic relationship, there can be misconceptions or misperceptions which can create distrust. The service provider or supplier is reactive. They do not challenge the customer's needs or requests, and there can be a lack of quality data, and whoever is more loud wins in the basic relationship. The costs may usually are transparent, but the value is not clear to anybody. And therefore, in a basic relationship, it is advised to minimize the information. Or generally, what happens in a basic relationship that the information sharing is minimal. A single channel of communication will exist, not too many channels. The base of working will be completely price driven, and but it is important to um, allow to exit the relationship in the basic relationship, because sometimes the customer may not be happy with the basic and they want to exit quickly. In a cooperative relationship, as I mentioned, there is a better understanding and appreciation of the work. The service provider engages more frequently with the customer, and there is a good shared understanding of the product and service and the service value. But innovation can be challenging. Usually innovations do not occur in a cooperative relationship, but there is definitely mutual respect and understanding between the supplier and the customer. And therefore, if they can seek opportunities to add value, have multiple channels of contact, and do some forecasting, and that can invest in relationship management, the relationship would be better in the cooperative relationship. In a partnership, both the supplier and the consumer, they share the common goals, and they focus heavily on the value realization. There's a lot more clear accountability for achieving value from the investments on the services and products, and there is a good quality data to support the value analysis and realization based on the improvements. So there's a significant improvements and innovations happening in the partnership model. So the shared goals allow to maximize the value and the sharing of the risks and the rewards. So there's a deep sense of trust and partnership. Both parties acknowledge each other's important. There is joint investment in improving processes. They work jointly on the wide range of activities. There is a lot more free exchange of sensitive information. But in such a case, the disadvantage could be that exiting the relationship could be difficult because of the enormous amount of trust and closeness that has been built. Whereas in the basic, it's much easier to exit the relationship. So that's how we can briefly understand how the relationships types are or categories are. So the recommendation here is to move towards the partnership-based relationship. Then the next one is to leverage the supplier expertise to improve the value streams. And what that means is suppliers may participate in many value streams and may see patterns and improvement opportunities missed by internal resources. Include the suppliers in the value stream analysis exercises and stay open to transformation opportunities.